Marcus Aurelius tells us to prepare ourselves on a daily basis to deal with difficult people. He says, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Stoicism, as a pragmatic philosophy, encourages us to perceive individuals as they truly are, rather than how we wish them to be. It's said that Marcus Aurelius, a figure renowned for his self-control and discipline, honed his anticipations through a routine of negative visualization every morning. He would envision the variety of personalities he might come across each day, readying himself to engage with even the most challenging or irksome individuals. We're bound to run into difficult people wherever we go. The essence of this exercise in visualization isn't to harbor negative thoughts about others, but to equip oneself for possible encounters with such individuals. Our expectations significantly shape our emotional responses. By acknowledging the likelihood of crossing paths with disagreeable individuals and preparing for such instances mentally, the surprise and potential upset can be mitigated. This practice aids in better handling such encounters when they occur. After all, facing challenging individuals is an inevitable aspect of life, and preparing for such interactions allows us to navigate them with more ease and poise. Marcus Aurelius tells us, the best revenge is to be unlike the one who performed the injustice. Reacting to impoliteness or insults with similar negativity only places us on the same level as the offender, inadvertently validating their unpleasant conduct. Hence, it's advised to respond from a higher moral ground, employing virtue and reasoning. When wronged by others, it's natural for thoughts of revenge to cross our minds. The notion of an eye for an eye seems justified. If someone has inflicted harm or injustice upon us, isn't it rightful to reciprocate in kind? However, the ancient philosopher Epictetus proposes an alternative perspective on the barrenness of revenge. He fundamentally views revenge as not only unnecessary, but also as a self-inflicted wound. According to Epictetus, the real harm lies in the erosion of one's moral fabric through malicious actions. Thus, if someone deceives or pilfers from you, they have essentially harmed themselves by compromising their own virtue. Through this lens, retaliating against wrongful deeds with similar malicious intent merely drags us down to the moral deficit exhibited by the wrongdoer, simultaneously eroding our virtue. Epictetus's discourse invites us to disengage from the vindictive cycle of revenge and instead uphold our moral integrity, even in the face of injustice. Despite our meticulous preparations, circumstances often deviate from our expectations. Our control seldom extends to the actions or remarks of those around us. They remain external, unpredictable variables in our lives. Encounters with challenging individuals are commonplace, be it within professional settings or social circles. The misdeeds may range from queue jumping to deceitful credit stealing to public embarrassment. Although their actions are beyond our control, we often allow the echoes of their insults to haunt us long after the episode has ended, sometimes for an exceedingly prolonged period. The common reactions include harboring resentment, fostering anger, or even concocting schemes of retaliation. However, from a Stoic perspective, engaging in revenge is a futile endeavor that's likely to bring more harm than resolution. Stoic philosophy urges us not to take such adversities to heart. When individuals mistreat us, it's often a reflection of their momentary ignorance. The malign intent, or the lack thereof, behind their actions can either stem from an inadvertent oversight or a flaw in their character. In either scenario, expending our energy on their shortcomings is a pointless exercise. The sole aspect we hold command over is our reaction to their misconduct. So when faced with rudeness, derogatory name-calling, or offensive remarks, it's prudent to evaluate the real extent of harm inflicted and choose a response that reflects understanding and maturity rather than impulsivity and bitterness. It's a common experience to encounter individuals who can be quite challenging to deal with. According to Marcus Aurelius, it's important not to view the actions of these troublesome individuals as personal attacks. He advises instead to consider their misbehavior as a result of ignorance. They act inappropriately because they lack the knowledge you possess. Consider this: when someone says or does something that appears wrong to you, your judgment of their action as wrong stems from the knowledge and understanding you have acquired. It's much like expecting someone to appreciate a complex piece of literature without having prior knowledge of its historical or cultural context. If a person doesn't share your level of understanding or information, it's unlikely they'll arrive at the same conclusions about what is right and wrong. Thus, it's about recognizing that people operate based on their level of understanding, which might differ significantly from yours, leading to actions you might find objectionable or difficult to deal with. It's a common human trait to notice and dwell on the faults of those around us, especially after a few unsettling interactions. How frequently do we find ourselves grumbling about a colleague, a spouse, or a friend, and the strained dynamics we share with them, yet find ourselves stuck in inaction, expecting the other person to take the first step towards resolution? It's crucial to recognize that the problems plaguing our relationships are likely to fester if left unaddressed. Proactive engagement is necessary to initiate healing conversations. Begin by reflecting on your own behavior and its potential to trigger adverse reactions from the other person. Question if your ego is acting as a barrier, deterring you from approaching the issue or avoiding confrontation. Rather than gossiping or complaining about each other, the emphasis should be on fostering direct communication. If the goal is to create a more harmonious environment for yourself and those around you, refrain from dictating to others how they should act. Instead, focus on embodying the virtues you wish to see. Express them through your actions and demeanor. By adopting such a posture, you set a positive example that could inspire those around you to also strive for better. Consequently, you contribute to cultivating a more pleasant and cooperative atmosphere for everyone involved. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and check out these other videos. For more videos like this one, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.